Cynthia, I love what you said about learning kind of involving layers, right? So it's not just one thing that we're learning, which I think is the assumption that a lot of students will go into a classroom with, like, oh, we're just going to learn the content. But I think what you're describing is, there are multiple layers of learning and multiple things that we're actually doing as we're learning. So you described the fact that, we have to anticipate things, we have to process, we have to connect. And then that also extends into like different contexts and times as well, right? So like, with the bus example, a kid could be learning one thing when they're on the bus the first time, but then the third or the 10th time, they're intaking all of this other info. So the layers are happening sort of like in those moments, right? In the moment in time, but also across, like context and across time as well, which I think is really fascinating. It also made me think about your description of the humanities class, the honors humanities class that Henry was in. And it seems to me that, that class, or based on my understanding of it, students have to learn in really different ways in that class as well, because it's not just sort of like one general area. It's actually merging multiple areas of study together so that, like in each of these disciplines, they have their own methodologies, they have their own conceptual frameworks, they have their own histories. So I'm actually curious to hear maybe both from Henry and from you, Cynthia, about how the learning in that class is unique, because that class focuses on so many different disciplines and actually tries to approach it in a very interdisciplinary and interconnected